considered nurturers. I think that
Somebody's trying to come
our
on.
men have. I don't know. I'm scared.
Well, he's not freezing, but let's see what happens.
Okay, let's try to make it work.
Let's try to make it work. My son Mo, he come in and try to make it happen.
See if you can do something, Mo. I hope you all are having some patience with us in this, because we are. No, that's not.
No, with the red thing. Yeah.
With a red, see that little red? Yeah, right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I literally trying to put it.
Okay.
I can hear in my ear, but I have no visual on my phone. It's locked up.
Okay. All right.
Oh, somebody they lied. They said no, I don't want to. Psych, I didn't want to come on.
Wait.
I hope that I think that was D Porter, wasn't it? Was it D? I thought she was being brave for a minute, like D coming on. But she probably hit the wrong button. But D, if you have a comment or a question and you wanted to put it in our feed, we'll try to get your question and your comment answered. But I think the biggest thing that I think that we did on Sunday, if I can just dive in this a little bit, is the freedom and liberty. Freedom and liberty happened on Sunday.
Yeah.
People were like, I think, it's like we all were in a place and, oh, you too? Oh, and you too? And you? It kind of made us all common.
And it wasn't a dry eye in the building.
Oh, yeah, everybody's crying. And I think not just for you, but they were feeling their situation. It was like we was a kumbaya, and knowing that this has been happening. But I'll say this, it's a trick of the enemy.
Yeah. The
breakdown of the family has been happening is a trick of the enemy, and the fathers not being able to speak. In actuality, the fathers are the ones who speak the blessings over the children.
Yeah, that's right.
So if the father's not in place to speak the blessing, you see what I'm saying? Talk about the enemy running Russia. Yeah. When the father is the one who passes on the blessings and anoints the children for the future. But when you can deactivate the father, then you deactivate the future. Okay, the blessings on this child, the blessings on that child, speaking into this child's life, sending this child into activation in this area of their life, just by deactivating the father.
Take the strong man.
Isn't that the enemy?
Yeah, that's the enemy. Yeah.
Bind the strong man. Then you can take, and that's what's been happening in our society. We binding the strong man, and not just the enemy, but the enemy. Some people are yielding themselves to the enemy to be used to bind the strong man. Mm-hmm. And so for that purpose, now we have chaos, destruction, breakdown in the family. Sometimes we parents, opposite of the mothers, are part of that process. Yeah. And we're going to talk about that in the women's part of this. But we women, we have a role to play, but our role is not between their father and themselves. That's not our role. Our children are not our allies.
Yeah, definitely.
Our children are not our. We birthed them, but they're not our allies against their fathers. That is not how it's supposed to be. And whenever we find ourselves dividing our children from their fathers, you're setting your children up for mental anguish.
Yeah. And it will come back down the road. I can't say how many times I've had conversations such as this with my sons in the ministry, and from the young to seasoned age, and everybody have the same story. One relationship with their father, and to this day, I have not found too many that can say my relationship with my father just right. Either father absent based on relationship from the mother, father absent based on no longer involved, based on a matter of death, imprisonment. So many dynamics that face Black families that it hurts Black men,
right?
And it hinders Black men becoming positive Black father in the community.
Exactly. Teresa's got on here. The blessings lifeline is broken.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah. And absolutely. And just think about how many of our young boys struggle after the breaking of that lifeline. after there's no connection to the father, and it's kind of like a balloon that's been let go out of the hand of someone, and now it's just the wind tossing it to and fro, and with no direction. Well, in the hand of a father, it's taken where it needs to be taken. And I don't know if we understand the detriment of fathers being broken from their sons being broken from their fathers, because like you said, I had no teacher, and then when you did have a teacher, he only had one pour for you, help him get more groceries in his house. Yeah, but this is the thing, he taught you this. He taught you provide for your family, and he used y'all for that to you learned that rather. I don't know if he sat down. This is what you're supposed to do. You just learned that.
I think of all the kids Mr. Scott would take with him, I was the only one that actually did that. Became that adult to do just that.
Right.
And because I talked to my friend Margot and my brother Reginald, they don't remember all that. I remember.
See, you caught that class.
I caught the class, and I watched him, and I observed what he did. So he was that father that I needed, but he didn't give me the pull of that other extension of that.
Right.
Yeah. And see, I can't, and I said it again, and I shared with my son JR, we had a good father and son talk this other day. And I said, I hear your heart, son, but it's hard for me to relate to it because I never had the relationship with my father. Not because he was in the home, but I never knew him.
Right.
He died, so I never got a chance to have that opportunity. I never had an opportunity to have a grandmother, I had an opportunity to have a grandfather. So that's why I'm so advocate for my grandchildren to be in their lives,
Right.
I keep going back to my little wildfly Leo to my Papa, why y'all in this bed? Are you old?
Yeah.
He just gave me a resurrection.
He's old and
resurrection. Get up. But these are priceless moments, and what we have done as a father is that I've learned to become a father. I thought I was a father, but I'm learning to become a father. I'm becoming a father now.
Right.
And
you learned it through your grandson.
Through my grandchildren,
His grandsons taught him a lot about being a father.
Yeah.
Because you give to them what you didn't know you had.
Yeah.
Which is time.
Yeah. And that's what I want to give to young fathers now. Give that time to your son. Give that time to your daughter. Because it's the only time in life that you be able to go back and remember how priceless that was. When I had my grandson, Miles, and my granddaughter, Madison, it was like, I haven't seen him in 8-9 years. Haven't seen Madison since he's 18 months since he's been born. But they immediately gravitated to me. They came to me, my first thing Miles said, hey, granddad, he's very proper. He don't say papa, he said granddaddy, grandfather.
Yeah.
That's a little European one, so I want to get from it. But he's becoming grandfather. And then at Madison, he just immediately held on and they gravitated to you. It was just like a happy union. Because one thing about that bloodline, that tie is going to be there.
Yeah. And the good thing about what you have learned is that people think, well, it's 10 years, it's 9 years. I say a lesson learned late is a lesson learned.
Yeah, that's good.
It's still learned. You know what? Because even though it's 10 years down the road, he got it. They have their relationship, and sometimes we that's the part about we major on the minor stuff. The fact of the matter is that the two have been united, and if they have their way, and torn no more.
No more.
Torn no more. Because now I think they will fight to hold on to each other. Once you have a hold of someone with knowledge, see, one thing to hold on somebody and you don't have understanding and knowledge, but you know that place of not having that son, and he knows that place of not having his father. Then that will not happen, because from now on we remember that place. We're going to be holding on each other with everything now, because we don't want to revisit that place, again.
Someone's trying to come on. I think it's I need Father Time.
I don't know.
Let's give him a shot at it.
Yeah.
It's Father Time. I'm gonna stop calling man Father time.
You're not going to stop calling him that. So
He has no time. There you go. Hey, Professor Mike.
Hello.
Yes, sir. We can hear you. Go ahead and talk to us.
Finally got on.
Got him on the third
I
day.
wanted to get on here tonight. It was good tonight. But I agree with what you all have been sharing.
Yes, sir.
One of the things I do want to highlight is that even, with you was talking about if the father is deceased, if they can resolve that, I venture to say that they can.
Yes, sir.
They just have to be taught how to do it. And that's one of the things I do, even with the young men who want to talk to their fathers. One of the things I do with them is I have an exercise I do with them so they can share all of that hurt, that anger, and all of that, and then be able to go and talk to them later. That way they won't have all that hurt, that anger. They'll kind of have an idea of what they want to say. And then let them know what it is you want from them. Because many times, just as you just stated, that there was some things that you didn't know to do. There were some things I didn't know to do.
Yeah.
I knew I wasn't going to do the way my father did. I knew I was going to be different. And I was intentional about that. But sometimes the father don't know how to give the son what they need because they didn't have an example.
right.
And
So
I like
I
that
always
point.
tell the son that, so since you know what you want, you got to tell him.
Yeah.
So maybe you can help him. Maybe you can help him to hug because that's what you want is a hug.
Right. Right.
You know.
Right.
In fact, that hug thing, I actually did that with PJ. Because initially he kind of hugged like this. I said, "No, if I hug, I'm your daddy." And we hugged each other. You can feel that heart. You can feel that, man. This is what I want.
I'm so proud of
And he
you.
held on. So you told
Aren't
me.
you proud of him?
I'm so proud of you.
Anywho,
But I think all of that is a part of what a man needs to know, that it's okay to do that. Because my thing is when one male hug another male, as long as you know why you hugging, it's no problem.
right.
But for father and son, that's something need to be practiced.
Yeah.
And that's why I made the statement, you can't just do it when they 2 and 3 and 4 years old.
Yeah.
Because nobody will say anything and it's okay. But when they get 13, 14, 15 on up, that's when they really need it.
Right.
Yeah.
And
But you got to practice
But women
it, though.
hug each other. Women hug. I don't know
Yeah.
how old they are, but it just
Right.
we men, we have that disconnection. It's I don't what is in us that make us not want to.
and even not only just
Well-
with men, but I remember some guys saying stuff like as far as like even to their mothers, I'm too big now to be hugging like that,
Right.
because it's a
Right.
stigma
Yeah.
that's attached to affection or showing affection outside to a significant other. That if you
Exactly.
show affection towards someone, somehow that's a weakness or something. And but I think it's all how you instill it into a child, whether or not they'll be able to practice that throughout their life. Because I remember JR, I was dropping him off at high school for the first time, and I remember looking over at him. We always hugged and everything and kissed on the cheek. And I pulled up to the high school and I was like, well, I'm not gonna kiss you because I don't want to shame you in front of your friends. He said, "You're my mama. Give me a," and he just leaned in and kissed me. And so from that on, I knew he was comfortable with our relationship and our showing of affection one to another. But that's because since he was a little boy, since he's it's something we've always shared. And so I think that's sometimes with men lose that. Yeah. I mean,
But but that's the same way I was with Justin. But when he got to middle school and I was dropping, he didn't want me to do it then. He said he was too old then. But now that he's even older, we always hug when we see each other now.
Right. And I think that's something that men need to know, in starting as young boys, that showing of affection,
it's
or
important.
not showing of affection, does not make you a man or not a man.
Right.
Right. And I think that's something that, and in that case, because then they'll be able to more freely be able to express
Right.
emotions as well, because it's
Right.
not nothing that they're not uncommonly used to doing, so to speak.
Exactly.
I got a question for you, Elder Mike, before you get off.
Yes.
You were talking about how you do before somebody goes to talk to their father, like if they had a situation need to talk with their father, they do like a kind of a mock thing to make sure they got their thoughts together and get the anger up off of it before they go and speak to them. What do you think about someone whose father has passed on and that they're no longer alive, that a mock type thing was done for them to get out what's in them and have someone stand in the place of the father to receive what the son has got to say to their father?
Yeah, that's possible, but a lot of times what I have them to do is to write a letter. And if he's deceased and if he's buried nearby, then you can actually go to the grave and do it with them there and say it to them. Now, it may, and I always explain to them that it might sound silly, it may look silly, or even feel silly, but if it's going to help you to feel better emotionally, then that's what you need to do. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's what we call the empty chair exercise. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what that is. And that you have another person there and they visualize their father being there and they say those things. So that's very possible to do it that way too. Yes.
Yeah. I just wanted to ask that question because I would think that would be a very helpful way of someone uninterrupted being able to express things. Because I've actually had people talk to me about a situation now, so to speak. Yeah.
Yeah. And actually, you can still have them do the letter and still do that in front of you.
Was to do that they would have professionals in place that would know how to handle the situation if it was to go, make sure the person safe at the end of the conversation. Yeah.
And that is one of the most, I say it a lot of times, most important. That is one of the important key factors is being able to have the right person or the right people in that situation with those people.
Right.
So they won't be injured.
Right.
They would already been injured.
Right.
So thank you, sir, for joining us. On our have this together. The Bible says, "Let this mind be in Christ." Also be in you. We have to take on the mind of Christ. We met an individual today had multiple the place they need to be. But there are times you need an instrument mental illness. It happens to anybody. The Bible times that fall happens to all. No one is exempt from having mental health challenges.
Yeah.
But we want to keep you in the right place. As my son Mo and Chandler and JR and Vontae, and they're advocates for exercising, and they work hard to keep their bodies in shape. But yet, it doesn't change the fact that even in the perfect body, you still can have some imperfection in that body. So we want to pray and ask God to give you guidance. Our resources are available at World Changes. You can call us at 706-562-8070. Someone's on the line waiting to talk to you about your mental health. We have professional people in our ministry who can give you the counsel that you need. We have resources available to give you what you need to get to those places that won't cost you a dime. Because when it comes down to the mental health, it shouldn't be on charge. You know, the people that do the work, yes, they should be compensated. But those that can't pay, there's resources.
You need help, yes.
We don't want you not to get the help. And then, and some of the help will require medication. There's nothing wrong with that. By his stripes, you're healed.
Yes.
You know, I told people I got high blood pressure. By his stripes, I'm healed.
Yeah, by his
So I'm still taking my prescription because my body don't know the difference. But my mind says, I trust God.
Yeah.
So, Father, I thank you as the woman of God I have come together in a place of unity to pray for those that are battling, trying to maintain their mental health. Some have been challenged by the way of their finances. Some have been compelled by the way of loneliness, needing a desire of a mate, a death of a loved one, a loss of a job, a mistaken identity, a heartbreak, something, whatever it has been, I pray that you will heal the heart. Heal that soul. Heal that mind. We should have been done. But God bless you as you prepare yourself to go and be a blessing and those that are joined by way of social media. Don't forget, Saturday we are still scheduled for the outreach. We will know for sure Friday, based on the weather. There is projected heavy rains this Friday. But nevertheless, if the Lord opens the door for us to do it, we're going to do it.
Right.
It's going to work some way, some.
Right.
But I'm going to ask my wife to give a final